Ladies and gentlemen, renegades and outlaws, welcome to the 2017 Outlaw Hearthstone Invitational, set to crown the 2017 Outlaw Season Champion. Last season, it was SGM Stu, aka Big Dad, who rose up against yours truly, Iron Warlord, to take the season title. Tonight, he will find himself against a familiar foe, an old rivalry reborn in Country Rebel. Moving on from there, we have MegaToby against Wowmaster, Amelia against Enderstone. Enderstone making his debut, MegaToby a two-time Outlaw champion. And then we have Al Capone up against the winner of the elimination bracket matchup that we're going to have. The loser of SGM Stu and Country Rebel will face the loser of Wowmaster and MegaToby. The winner of that elimination bracket will face Al Capone. And finally, we have Iron Warlord versus You Mad Bro, Pathlador, a fantastic matchup between two of the favorites in the tournament. All the decks are up on our guild website, www.alliancerevolution.vash.engine.com. So you can check those out. That is www.alliancerevolutionvash.engine.com. All the decks are up there, along with the extensive 9-year history of the Alliance Revolution and Warsong Offensive. The matchups for tonight were drawn randomly from a hat. We are set to go here for the 2017 Outlaw Invitational. The rules will be the old school BlizzCon rules. You have 3 decks. It will be a best of 5. When you lose on a deck, that deck is eliminated for the series, and it goes until one player has all 3 decks eliminated. There are no bans, and a deck cannot be used after you have lost with it until the following round of the tournament. We are set to go here. And without further ado, the first matchup of the evening is going to be Country Rebel versus SGM Stu, a rematch of multiple rivalry showdowns between these two, spanning across Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, WoW, pretty much every Blizzard game. SGM Stu and Country Rebel have fought going all the way back to Easter Sunday of 2014, where they met for the first time, Foxy Hills against Big Dad. So here we go. SGM Stu will initiate the challenge. And remember that the spectators, you can pick either side, and remember to click on the opposing player as well so that you can see their decks. I will be moving both players down into a separate channel so they can't hear the commentary. Country Rebel and SGM Stu, best of luck. For the record, the decks here will be, for SGM Stu, Druid, Paladin, and Mage. For Country Rebel, it will be Paladin, Druid, and Rogue. Oh, my bad, Hunter. And the format will, of course, be WoW'd for tonight for all matchups. So when you challenge someone, make sure you click WoW'd. So here we go. Best of luck to the two generals. The duel of the generals here, the rivalry continuing to kick off the 2017 Outlaw Invitational. So here we go. First matchup of the Outlaw Invitational officially underway. Yes, that's so the watchers on Twitch can hear the commentary. And for the sake of fairness, this is a unique situation where I will not be discussing SGM Stew's hand, obviously. This is just so that the viewers on Twitch, as I said, can hear the commentary for this matchup. So here we go. It will be Paladin versus Druid to start the two main decks head-to-head here. Country Rebel and SGM Stew I was talking about as this new card from the new expansion, Kobolds and Catacombs, is dropped. I was talking about the history between these two. They have faced each other more than any other rivalry on the roster through WoW, through Hearthstone, and that rivalry renewed here tonight. They know each other, they know the play styles, they know what to expect. So it's really just going to come down to who plays better and uses their spells and cards efficiently, who gets the better draw. There are going to be no surprises between these two here tonight. Just going to come down to play. So there we see the Wrath coming in, clearing the board. Country Rebel going to drop a Hydrologist and trigger a secret. So obviously a Cthulhu deck here from SGM Stew. This is the second season he has used this deck. It is a deck that helped him win the season championship last season. And to get it out of the way early would be a huge benefit for Country Rebel here. That Knife Juggler doing its job, taking down the cultist there, the Disciple of Cthulhu. And Country Rebel going to establish board presence here with the secret still active. So a 1/4 taunt being dropped, the Beckoner of Evil following it up. And SGM Stu gonna put his own minions down on the board there, try to even up that board presence from Country Rebel. A Light Fuse Stegodon coming out here, another one of those new cards. Country Rebel using the Evolve feature here. Was not in effect last season. That is a Unguro expansion addition to the game. And Country Rebel just going to chip away at the health of that 1/4 taunt. And here comes Swipe from SGM Stew, going to take down the Stegodon. And now SGM Stew going to look to cut through the board of Country Rebel. And here it comes, the Noble Sacrifice. Going to come out. The Beckoner of Evil goes down. Now SGM Stew going to sack that taunt into the Knife Juggler. Not quite what was planned for the Guardian of Cenarius there. And Country Rebel still has board control here. And there is Stand Against Darkness flooding the board with those Silverhand recruits. How is SGM Stu going to counter here? It looks like this is the right play. Swipe going to knock out most of those Silverhand recruits. Look at the play from SGM Stu. Coming in here now for the attack himself. And there is some smack talk between the two generals. 27-26. Very close matchup here so far. As Country Rebel going to use that Sacred Maul. And again, this is the bonus of Country Rebel's Paladin deck. Is one of the strengths that he's able to flood the board so quickly and really establish board control. He's going to have to be careful because as the longer this game goes on, the more it's going to favor SGM Stu. Obviously, we know this is a Cthulhu deck. Country Rebel knows it's a Cthulhu deck. Very powerful deck long term towards the end game. And SGM Stu is in a very good position right now at 24 health against Country Rebels 27. So there's that taunt. And here comes the 1 damage. He's going to draw a card off of this. And Country Rebel is going to try to decide how best to take down that bear, which is standing there defiant. And here comes 5 more Silver Hand recruits. This reminds me almost of a Zoo Paladin deck. I mean, look at this now. You have all these 2/1 Silver Hand recruits. And Big Dad has used both of his swipes already to cut through the previous legions of Silverhand recruits. So at this point, he's just going to continue to drop taunts. That 2/3 infested Tauren is going to summon a 2/2 slime when it dies. And here comes the first legendary of the game, Fandral Staghelm. Coming out here, a 3/5 legendary. Obviously not one of the best legendaries, but Crystal Lion going to come out. Divine Shield 5/5. That is pretty scary as these Silverhand recruits die valiantly to sack Staghelm there and get him out of the way. Nobody really likes Staghelm, so he won't really be missed. But that 5/5 Divine Shield is a scary, scary proposition on the board right now. SGM Stu is looking for a way to deal with it. Country Rebel is low on cards here. SGM Stu has the advantage card-wise, and there is the taunt. The Crazed Worshipper, every time it is attacked, is going to continue to buff that Cthulhu. Now a 12/12 with taunt. And remember, when Cthulhu is dropped, it does whatever its health is in damage. Its attack and health. So the higher that gets, the more damage it's going to do in the later game. Let's see how Country Rebel responds here to the 3/6 and the 4/2 with Divine Shield. We are in the 10 mana rounds now, the championship rounds. Still a very close game. SGM Stu now leads 24-21. And this is where the bigger minions are going to start to be dropped by Big Dad. The 5/5 going to take away its Divine Shield. Country Rebel going to take 3 damage to the face. Cthulhu's going to be bumped up to 14/14. And Country Rebel going to equip a Vine Cleaver there. The 4/2 still on the board. And here comes Doomcaller, a 7/9. And Cthulhu is up to 16/16. Big Dad is in very good shape right now. And wisely, he is pushing the attack. Leave the 5/5 on the board. Why go for it when you can just go for the face? And Country Rebel is at 13 health. There's the equality coming out of nowhere here. Country Rebel going to be able to take down that 7/9, the 4/1, and he is now going to go for the face, taking SGM Stu down to 20 health. And there is Cthulhu. Here comes the pain. And almost getting Country Rebel down, just 1 health away. Oh my God, that Cthulhu almost had it right then and there. One health remains, and it doesn't look like Country Rebel has an answer. SGM Stew will take round number 1 and will eliminate Country Rebel's main deck. 1-0 for the Guardian of Cenarius. Keep in mind, the victor, you don't have to switch to your next deck. So theoretically, if you win, you can play with one deck for the entirety of the matchup. So we will find out next what Country Rebel is going to select. We know Big can either stay as Druid and go to his Paladin deck and go to his Mage deck. Country Rebel now down to Rogue and Hunter. So here we go. Round number 2 in this best of 5. Country Rebel losing his Paladin deck to start. But it is far from over. We have seen these two go the distance before. And it will be Hunter versus Druid this time. That Cthulhu deck serving Big Dad well, and he'll try to use it for another victory here against a very high tempo Hunter deck. And there is the adorable alley cat and its friend, the tabby cat. Just an adorable combo there. And already Big Stu going to start to buff that Cthulhu and build up towards the knockout punch. Here comes the Ravasaur Runt, going to evolve. Country Rebel he knows that there's still plenty of matchups in this series, but it can get out of hand quickly, especially against a Cthulhu deck like the one Big Dad has. He has to get back on track here, and he has a chance to eliminate that Cthulhu deck and get it out of the way. That is Big Dad's strength. That is the backbone of his 3 decks. If Country Rebel can pull this one off, if he can eliminate this Cthulhu deck, then he's in a very good position heading forward. So those 2 cats buffed up with +1 attack with the Timberwolf. Going to do some damage to SGM Stew. Country Rebel leads 29-26. SGM Stew going to drop another taunt, 1/4, getting some board presence. He's going to attack the Timberwolf wisely, stripping those 2 kittens of their +1 attack. Kill command coming out from Country Rebel, and again, going to pummel SGM Stew. 2 damage to the face, gets that taunt out of the way, and retains board control. Round number 5, turn 5 for SGM Stew. Disciple of Cthulhu going to take down one of the kittens, and Big Dad is also going to drop the saplings there to get some 1/1s of his own on the board. Stegodon going to come out here, 2/6. I feel like I'm a kid again, watching the dinosaurs and be like, oh, cool, it's Stegodon. I love dinosaurs as a kid. So this is basically Jurassic Park deck, although I don't remember kittens in Jurassic Park. So here we go. The Stegodon is out. Now the 5/7 taunt on Big Dad's and staring it right in the face. And Country Rebel going to have to cut through that 5/7. And he has the Stealth Wasp there with the poison effect. That is going to be able to take that taunt down immediately. So we'll see how Big Dad answers here. Even Swipe isn't going to be powerful enough to take down the Stealth, so that should be safe. And of course, the Arakoa does not have enough attack to outright kill the Stegosaurus. Well, Big Dad has Swipe, and here it comes, 4 damage to the entirety of Country Rebels board. That Stegosaurus now a 2/2. And Big Dad is weighing his options here. To those of you joining us in Discord, welcome. We are in round number 2 of SGM Stu versus Country Rebel. The 2017 Outlaw Hearthstone Invitational underway. And the Battle of the Generals here to kick off the tournament. So SGM Stu, firm board control. That Wasp is going to be able to take down the taunt now. SGM Stu leading 24-23. The Animal Companion going to bring out Leok here. That's going to buff up Country Rebel's other minions, and Country Rebel is going to clear SGM Stu's board here. Nice combinations from Country Rebel, the first ever Outlaw champion against last season's season champion. A rivalry that goes all the way back to Easter Sunday of 2014 continued here tonight. The Crazed Worshipper going to come out on SGM Stu's side. A 3/6 taunt. As I said, every time it takes damage, that is going to buff up Cthulhu some more. And Country Rebel is running out of cards. He has just used his last card now. He will be relying on top deck unless he gets some draw. He's going to do 3 damage to the taunt. He's going to sack the Hyena into the taunt. And now he's going to go face. But Country Rebel is in serious trouble here, now having to rely on top deck against a deck that is notorious for a great mana curve and some very, very frightening minions in the late game. Speaking of which, there is one right there. The 7/6 now on the board. A Scaram Occultist. And you got to think at this point, Country Rebel can't afford to trade. He's got to go straight for the face. There's no way he's going to have to. There's going to be no fair trade that he can make at this point. You're just ramming multiple minions into these bigger ones to try to take them down. And sure enough, Country Rebel is going for the face. Going to bring SGM Stu down to 11 health. It is 21-11. Country Rebel leading by 10. 4/6 taunt on the board. Druid of the Claw coming out. That is going to hold Country Rebel off. And now it is Big Stu who is going for the face on Country Rebel. The two generals slugging it away at each other. Going for the face. It is now 13-12. A slugfest here between the two generals. As Misha is out, and Misha is buffed by Leok. That is a 5/4 taunt. And now Country Rebel can trade and get some value off of it and then return to the face. So here comes the damage from Country Rebel. SGM Stu all the way down to 3 health. And here comes Cthulhu. The second time tonight we have seen the old one himself come out. 16 damage. And that will do it. Round number 2 going to the Guardian of Cenarius, up 2-0 in the series. It is now sudden death for Country Rebel, who will have to fall back on his rogue deck if he wants to come back into this one. Country Rebel is notorious for comebacks. We have seen it many times before. He is never completely out of a series. We will see if his rogue is able to defeat SGM Stu here, and whether SGM Stu stays with the Cthulhu deck or whether he moves to one of his other three. Of course, that Druid deck, one of three, the others being Mage and Paladin, both strong decks in their own right. So here we go. SGM Stu needing one win to advance. Country Rebel one defeat away from being knocked back to the elimination bracket. Of course, even if you lose here, you still have a chance to get back into the tournament in that elimination bracket against the loser of the MegaToby versus Wowmaster fight. So we'll see what transpires. Of course, Country Rebel wants to get the win. He wants to move on to next week. He wants to sit back and look forward to Friday, where we will have the finals of the Outlaw Invitational. 20,000 gold and the right to call yourself the 2017 Outlaw season champion on the line here throughout the remainder of December. The finals come to us on Friday, and then on December 17th, we will have our finale to crown the season champion. For those of you joining us on Twitch, welcome. The Outlaw Invitational Tournament underway. Our two generals here within the guild, Country Rebel and SGM Stu, Foxy Hills and Big Dad, in round 3 of their bout. SGM Stu currently leading 2-0. And of course, SGM Stu bringing out the Paladin deck here against Country Rebel's Rogue deck. We'll see how it does. So far, Country Rebel doing a good job controlling the board. The Selfless Hero going to come out there for Big Dad, a 2-1 that gives another minion Divine Shield. And Country Rebel going to ignore it. We're going to let it sit there and going to go for the face. He now has the charge, which is going to take care of it. And that is the ideal situation for that minion. You want to make sure you take it down when there's no other minions on the board that can benefit from that Divine Shield. Excellent job by Country Rebel so far, neutralizing every effort at offense by the Guardian of Cenarius, Big Dad. The coin used here by SGM Stu. What does he bring out? He brings out the Rallying Blade, which is going to give +1/+1 to his minions with Divine Shield. The problem is he doesn't have any minions with Divine Shield. So instead, he's just going to take out some of Country Rebel's board and call it a turn. Country Rebel pulling out the Hero Power Wicked Knife there and taking down the Silverhand Recruit. Notice this is exactly the game you want to play against a Paladin deck. Get everything off the board. Don't let them get anything on the board where they can buff it up and build it. And that is exactly what Country Rebel is doing here. And that comes from the experience of playing Paladin for so many years as Country Rebel has. Doing a good job here, neutralizing, as I said earlier, all of Big Dad's offense or attempts at offense. And Big Dad going to drop the secrets here. There's a lot of question marks above Uther the Lightbringer right now, and I don't think Country Rebel wants any of them answered. Country Rebel sitting with 2/3/5 spiders on the board. There's a 1/1 with Divine Shield, that Argent Squire. And here comes the Defender of Argus, going to buff them to 5/6. And the Defender of Argus is going to take that secret and lose most of its health. Here comes the Cold Blood. And that is going to buff that spider up to an 8/6. Look at the damage from Country Rebel. He is swinging for the fences. He is swinging to stay alive in the opening round. And now SGM Stu down to a 2/2 with only 10 health remaining. An 8/6 and a 4/6 on the board. Consecration going to be dropped. But that leaves SGM Stu with only 2 mana remaining. And he is going to bring down that terrifying buffed up Spiderling there, leaving a 4/4 on the board. Wow, big, going to take damage to the face here, bringing that down to 4/1. That may open it up for lethal here from Country Rebel. I believe it will. And Country Rebel, this is just unnecessary here. This is insult to injury. Country Rebel gonna come in with the Eviscerate. Gonna come in with the Dagger Mastery and the attack from the knife. And then the Spider to the face to stay alive in this series. Now 2/1. So the Paladin deck eliminated. SGM Stu looking to his Cthulhu Druid deck and the Mage deck. And also looking to finish off Country Rebel here. Only 1 win needed. Country Rebel needs 1 more win to tie it up. And that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You've just won. You're still down by 1. But if you get that 1, it's tied up. So we will see if Country Rebel is able to do just that here. And Big Dad gonna bring out the Mage deck. This is going to be a good one. A lot of spells. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there are going to be a lot of spells used in this game. And there's one right there. I know it's bold. I know it's going out there on a limb. I know it's revolutionary. But yeah, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of spells this game. So there is a 2/2 Undercity Huckster. And SGM's still going to answer with Arcane Missiles, dealing 3 damage split amongst random enemies. But there, it did the job, killing the Huckster, giving Country Rebel a card, and making it 30-29. SGM Stu. Forgotten Torch going to come out here, eliminate that 2/2, and give Country Rebel another card. Argent Horse Rider coming out here, 2 damage to the face. Going to give Country Rebel the lead. Granted, a narrow one, 29-28. Two very aggressive decks here. And of course, Country Rebel's Rogue deck specializes in controlling the board and then just pounding away with damage. So the Argent Warhorse going to take down SGM Stu to 26. Country Rebel now has firm board control, although a lot of these minions have just 1 health. So Fire Blast going to come in on the Argent Horse Rider, and there is Arcane Explosion, which is going to wipe out Country Rebel's board all but the Defias Ringleader. Fallen Hero coming out here. S17 Asian, or SI7 I should say. And Country Rebel going to continue to chip away at SGM Stu's health. A Ley Line Manipulator. The battle cry for that being, if you're holding any cards that didn't start in your deck, reduce their cost by 2. And it's also a 4/5. A card we have not seen before. Here comes Backstab. And there goes that new card we have never seen before. We will likely never see it again. Cold Blood, making that a 7/3 SI7 agent. Here comes the Azure Drake, and Country Rebel draws another card. Now 29-15. The momentum has shifted. The tides have turned, and Country Rebel is looking to tie this one up, leading by almost 15 health. There is a Fireball to the 7/3. SGM Stu going to look to squelch this comeback and put Country Rebel away. Here comes the greater arcane missiles. My God, the damage and the comeback is on. Country Rebel ties it up. 2-2 is your score. And we are moving on to sudden death here. Druid versus Rogue. Cthulhu. Druid versus Country Rebels Rogue deck here. With everything on the line, who will advance? Country Rebel has not won a championship since 2015. Looking to end the drought here tonight. Or at least keep the door open for ending the drought as we head forward into the tournament on Friday. So here we go. It all comes down to this 2-2. This is exactly the type of thing you want to kick off your tournament. It doesn't get any better than this. Tied up, Country Rebel answering SGM Stu, back-to-back victories, and now you have everything on the line and the spotlights are on. If you are just joining us on Twitch, you are watching the 2017 Outlaw Hearthstone Invitational hosted by the Warsong Offensive and Alliance Revolution of Vaj Frostwolf World of Warcraft Guild. We are looking to crown a 2017 season champion. The opening round to do that here tonight. The finals will be on December 15th, and then the championship finale December 17th. So welcome. Grab yourself a beverage of choice, whether it be coffee, soda, whatever. Settle yourselves in and enjoy as these two are canceling each other out here. Back and forth they go. Our two generals in the guild duking it out here. A vicious exchange there between the two. And it is still tied up 30-30. So here comes an Argent Squire and the Wicked Knife, which is now going to be buffed. Or excuse me, the Spider is now going to be buffed. by cold blood, and that is going to do 7 damage to the face of SGM Stu. This deck that Country Rebel is playing has so much damage, and it springs forward on you without any warning whatsoever. Country Rebel knows that he needs to end this game early. He cannot afford to let it go to round 10, or turn 10, I should say. He cannot afford to let SGM Stu buff up Cthulhu. And there is the Craze Worshipper coming out here trying to hold off Country Rebel's offensive. A 7-5 and 1-1 on the board. The 1-1 having Divine Shield, of course, being the Ardent Squire. Here comes Backstab on the 3-6 taunt. Now down to 3-4. That is going to buff up Cthulhu to 7-7. Country Rebel going to eat 3 damage. Sack the taunt there. And now has unbelievable board control. Has to be careful, though. If Big Dad can wipe this board, Country Rebel is down to 1 card. Leading by 7. What will the Guardian of Cenarius answer with? He answers with Swipe. And makes a mistake in the target on the swipe. So here come. So there is the 7-1, the Argent Squire and the Defias coming in there for the damage on Big Dad. A crucial mistake was made there. Cthulhu is up to 12-12, but Big Dad only has 9 health remaining. I said the tides had turned and the momentum had shifted, and Country Rebel will look to finish off SGM Stu and advance to the finals. Will he be able to do it? He is now just 1 damage away. Unbelievable pressure, denying SGM Stu the chance to build up the Cthulhu, to get the heavier minions on the board. The same thing that he did against SGM Stu's Paladin deck, he is now doing to the Druid deck, and Big Dad just has no answer for it here. Of course, that swipe was a crucial mistake there. Hard to come back from that one. And now on turn 8, SGM Stu will concede and Country Rebel will advance to the finals on Friday. So SGM Stu being knocked down to the elimination bracket. He will await the loser of the Wowmaster versus MegaToby fight and hope to get back into the tournament. Country Rebel will move on to Friday, where he will await the winner of our next matchup, which is MegaToby versus Wowmaster. So MegaToby will initiate the next matchup. It will be WoW format. Wowmaster making his Outlaw Hearthstone debut. MegaToby, a 2-time Outlaw champion. A veteran card player at that. Lots of experience on the side of MegaToby. Best of luck, gentlemen. Here we go. And Chuck, congratulations on the win. Welcome back to the broadcast booth. All right, so what's your prediction here for this one? You have the inexperienced Enderstone up against MegaToby. MegaToby starting with his best deck, which is Warlock. What's your prediction here so far? So MegaToby going to draw Hellfire, and that polymorph going to come out from Enderstone. And you'll notice Ender's sitting on that 10 mana Pyroblast. What's your opinion on that check? Because, I mean, I've seen it used in competitive, but I'm not really a big fan of it. I feel like having to spend 10 mana on a single spell, it can really just hamper you, especially if you're up against a tempo deck. And there is a fireball right to the face, tied up 24-24 now. Wow, there's a card I haven't seen in a while. The Frostwolf Warlord coming out. Chuck, you want to give us your opinion on the Pyroblast? It's also a good finisher, too. 10 damage right to the face. All right, let's see here if Ender can get MegaToby within range. Look at the board presence from MegaToby. My God, he has stacked up an army here, ready to disassemble Enderstone. And now he goes for some control. A 7/7, a 3/6, and then three damage minions there on the board, ready to tear Enderstone apart. And Ender does not have any AoE. He drops the Stormwind Champion, and this one looks to be pretty much over unless Ender can get some type of hard AoE removal, which I don't think he has in the deck. Why Toby is not just going face here, I have no idea, but he pretty much has the win. And there it is. MegaToby gonna take round number one, dismantling Wowmaster's mage deck. So on to matchup number two. Thoughts on that first meeting between MegaToby and Wowmaster? He's definitely more experienced at card games, I would think. All right, so Enderstone going to go with Paladin, and Toby going to stay with the Warlock deck. And there's that Mortal Coil. You see Toby eyeing it like a fat kid eyeing cake. He was ready to pounce on that thing and get that draw from the effect of Mortal Coil. And he gets Hellfire, which is going to deal 3 damage to all characters. I have never seen that card before, but Ender's going to drop it. Stonehill Defender, a 1/4 taunt, and it discovers a taunt minion. Very interesting. And that's something very interesting about tonight. You know, it's been so long since we've had a Hearthstone tournament or a Hearthstone season, a Hearthstone event, that there are going to be a lot of cards tonight that we've never seen before. There's been about, what, 3 expansions since the last Hearthstone season, which wrapped up on the Guild's anniversary last September. So here we are. We have seen a lot of new cards here tonight. And Ender's going to drop Seal of Light here. Restore 4 health to your hero and gain 2 attack this turn. So not going to do anything with the 2 attack. Yes, we're seeing the inexperience of Enderstone come into play here. Yeah, not utilizing that 2 damage. I feel Enderstone is falling into the trap of when you first start Hearthstone, you feel the taunts are really good and heals are really good. And so you tend to play those cards early without getting any value for them. So that there was just Ender getting a heal, but he didn't do anything with the damage. So he didn't really get any value off it. So that's sort of a pitfall that I think new players fall into with Hearthstone, and one that Ender just fell into there. Now the question is, will MegaToby finish him off while he is in the pitfall stuck? We'll see. And see, like buffing that recruit, that is very easy to take care of. He pretty much can just hit it with, he could sack the Shattered Sun Cleric. He can hit it with another Mortal Coil if he draws it. It's just so easy to remove a Silver-Handed recruit to buff it up like that without being able to then use that damage. Just not a very smart decision from Enderstone. So we'll see what he does here. Consecration going to come in. That is a smart play, I believe. He's going to do 2 damage there. And here again, Holy Light, 6 health. Holy Light was a card that when I first started playing, I thought, man, this is a great card. Not really, because you're sacrificing 2 mana to get 6 health. There are other cards that heal you without costing 2 mana and with giving you better value. So here we go. The Earthen Ring Farseer are going to come out, and Toby is going to heal himself up some. And now he's going to go for the face. And then you can attack with it. You can buff it up. You can give it taunt, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Chong and Foxy Hills commentating this round 2 showdown between MegaToby and Wowmaster. If you are just joining us, the Outlaw Invitational is underway. We are in matchup number 2 on the evening. Country Rebel defeating SGM Stu earlier, a 3-2 thriller comeback by that rogue deck. And now we are awaiting to see who will face SGM Stu in the elimination bracket and who will advance to face Country Rebel on Friday. Now, I'll ask you this, Chuck. To me, it's obvious, but to the viewers, it might not be. So, of these two, who would you rather face on Friday if you had to pick? And down goes Enderstone's board presence there as Megatobi continues to punish him with this Zoo deck. Ender eyeing that Sargoth the Slitherer. If it costs less mana, I would say that's a fantastic card. But the fact that it costs 9 mana, I don't know. I mean, it is pretty powerful that it can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. I'm not really a fan of it. And you're seeing here where Ender's selection of those real high cost cards are coming back to really bite him, especially against Zulok, because now look at this damage right to the face, these smaller minions just overwhelming Ender. And if he drops that Sawgoth the Slitherer, M's going to take it out almost immediately. He has enough damage on the board right now to kill it. So Enderstone in deep trouble here. Wow, that Necrotic Geist is a horrible card. Do you see that? 6 mana and a 5/3. Oh, that's brutal. So here comes Sawgoth the Slitherer. And as I said, Toby has enough damage outright to kill it. But he can't target it with the spell. He could drop another taunt here. He's going to give his... Wow, that was a very aggressive move there. I was thinking he was going to save that Frostwolf. He didn't have to do that. He could have saved the Frostwolf. But this way, he keeps all of his minions on the board and pretty much has lethal next turn no matter what. So that will do it. I am pretty sure. Enderstone. Wow, just like that, the Consecration coming in, going to wipe out MegaToby's board. And the Hellfire. Oh, the double Hellfire is going to do it right there. MegaToby. 1 Hellfire. 2 Hellfires. Good night, Irene. MegaToby leads 2-0. And now Enderstone will fall back on his third and final deck, a Priest deck against MegaToby's Lock deck. MegaToby's other 2 decks being secondary choices, of course, to that Lock deck, which has served him so well. And it looks like MegaToby will go Mage here. The other decks, by the way, being Mage and Shaman. And we're going to see the Mage here. What do you think about this choice to switch from Lock to Mage? We saw it come back to haunt big earlier, switching decks up. Do you think MegaToby should have stayed with the Warlock deck, or do you think this is the better choice against Priest? Chuck, are you able to hear me? So MegaToby going to take board presence here, and he is going to go straight to the face on Wowmaster. It is 23-26, but despite Wowmaster leading in health, MegaToby is in a very strong position here. A 1-3-2-1 and 3-1 on the board in stealth. That Mana Worm, of course, going to benefit from any spell that MegaToby uses. That Frostbolt going to come in here and buff up the Mana Worm, doing 3 damage to the face. There's another damage. Here, have 2 more, and 3 more as the Worgen comes out of stealth. And now it is 23-17. MegaToby is pushing the pace. He is pushing the tempo. He is pushing to close out this series and knock Wowmaster back to the elimination round. A 2-4 now on the board from Enderstone. And of course, MegaToby just going to continue going for the face. 23-10 now. MegaToby ruthless, as with this Tempo Mage deck, he continues to pummel away at Wowmaster. And Enderstone just does not have an answer. That is a desperation play right there. Hoping for a taunt, not getting it. And it will be more damage coming his way this next turn. Not quite lethal yet, but perhaps now it is lethal. So Toby dropping that Firefly just for extra effect. He has lethal right now. And that will do it. MegaToby advances to face Country Rebel in the finals on Friday. There. You are the victor, and you SGM Stu and Wowmaster could have one shot to keep their aspirations of becoming season champion alive later on this evening. But first, before we get to that, and the winner of that fight facing Al Capone, we move on to Iron Warlord against Pathlodor's decks here, which will be Rogue, Hunter, and I want to say Warlock. So Pathodor, aka You Mad Bro, up against Iron Warlord on the other side of the bracket here. Again, the winner of the elimination bracket matchup will move over to the opposing side, the side of the tournament we are now going to now, which will be Al Capone facing the winner of the elimination bracket, and then Iron Warlord against Pathodor. So, You Mad Bro, Iron Warlord, here we go. Iron Warlord's decks, yours truly, of course, being Warlock, Mage, and Priest. So this one should be a good one. Chuck, is your mic working? Apparently not. So we will take. Have yourself a smoke, relax, refresh, and enjoy as the second half of the Outlaw Invitational continues after this.